Am I the a-hole if I called off my wedding because of my mother-in-law? This is not my story, but I asked if I was allowed to share and hear by the bride. I will tell the story in first person, just to make it easier. So I, 29F, and my ex-fiancé, 31M, were going to get married in August of this year. But I needed to call it off because of my monster-in-law.
For context,
Me and, let's call him Jake, have been together for 5, almost 6 years. We planned to have our wedding day on our 6-year anniversary, very cute, or so I thought. We obviously brought the idea. It was no longer idea when we brought it up because the date was set, but we just wanted an opinion. Up to Mil, who we will call Kate. Me and Jake said though it was super romantic and sweet to do it on that date. Kate obviously didn't think so. She said to have it on me and your father's wedding day. Now that would be romantic and sweet. Kate and Jake's father were no longer even together, so I thought it was a bit strange. And not to mention, their wedding was in November, and that's just not the vibe I was going for, and it would be super cold since I live in Canada. I shut her down gently and told her we wanted to have a warm wedding. She didn't like that. She started to cry. And not real tears, I could tell. I'm the oldest of 5 kids. I know a fake cry when I see one. Something also not great about Jake that I think I should mention is that he was the biggest mama's boy. It was just him and his older sister. Jake got treated like a prince and his older sister like a pile of dada. So Jake ran from beside me to across from me to see if Kate was okay. I just gave him the get your ass back here look, and he sighs, rolls his eyes at me, and sits beside his mother and begins to rub her back. Which made me very uncomfortable because it wasn't like a comforting rub on the back, it was like an intimate one. Like the ones he gives me after I get home from a stress-filled day at work. Anyway, I look at him back and roll my eyes at him as well. Kate was still fake crying in her hand, saying something along the line of, "How could you do this to me? I'll call myself Jen. Jen, you know I've waiting my whole life to watch my baby get married on the same day as me," and I said something under my breath, and it wasn't particularly kind. I said, well, if you wanted your baby to get married on the same day, maybe you should have kept his dad in his life long enough. His dad is still in his life, and he's a very sweet man. I just meant his life together, and not going to 2 houses for Christmas and shit. Kate shoots her head up. Her face isn't wet from crying BW. Not even around her eyes, and glares at me. Jake does the same. Kate gets up, standing in front of me now, and she starts yelling about how he was abusive and controlling. Yes, I know those are not good things, but like I said above, I've met the man, and he's very kind, and I couldn't see him doing all the things she said he was. Obviously, there is a possibility, but me and Jake's older sister, who we'll call Lily, both don't believe she's telling the truth. Lily and Jake are from different dads, but Lily was raised as Jake's dad's kid from when she was little. So I said I'm sorry that happened, but I still won't change the date. And a little while after that, me and Jake left. About a month after Jake text me how my day has been since I'm out with my girls. I said it was good, a normal conversation, right?
no.
After I said good, he drops the bomb. My mom still wants us to have the date in November. I obviously was like, freak no. I told him no, and that I already booked the venue for August. But he didn't listen. About 2 minutes later, I get a phone call from Jake and I answer it, and it's of him, begging me to change the date and the venue date. I said no again, and he threatened to put me on speakerphone. I don't know why he threatened that. I thought he was at home alone. Once I said no again, he said you asked for it. He asked again if we could change the date. I said no once again, this time a little bit more annoyed. Then I heard an agitating voice in the background. It was my Emile. She goes on to say how much I'm disrespecting her and how much it hurts to not have my wedding in November. I said I'm sorry, but I'm not changing it, and she just got even more upset. Her and Jake were both yelling at me over the phone, and I just hung up, went back to my girls, and dealt with it when I got home. When I got home, it was a shit show. As soon as I walked through the door, I was getting screamed and yelled at on why we couldn't change the date. I told Jake, and now Emile, that it was because I already booked the venue on that specific date and has already put the deposit down. And for some reason, even after telling them that I was still getting screamed at by both of them, I took off my shoes, hung up my purse, and went up to my room, all while still getting yelled at. I closed the door, went into the private bathroom, and started a bath. I got into the bath. The yelling stopped, so I figured Kate was gone. But guess what? She was waiting for me downstairs when I got out of the bath. I wasn't getting screamed and yelled at, but I just didn't want to look at her face after what she just did to me. I looked at her, and I asked her where Jake was, and she told me he ran to the corner store. I was obviously furious because why would he leave me alone with this monster? She tried changing my mind again by telling me how beautiful the venue would be in November and how ugly would be in August, even though the pictures in August are way better than the ones in November. But oh well. I told her no for like the 1000th time, and I called Lily. Lily came over and grabbed her mom with a fight, and they left. By the time Jake got home, Kate and Lily had already left, so he walks in through the door and asks me where Kate is. I told him she left and that she would not be coming back for a while. He started yelling at me for doing something to his mom, like he thought I killed her or something. Anyways, I just didn't engage and went back up to our room and got in bed. I fell asleep immediately, and nothing happened for the next while. 2 months later, so around now, I was picking up my wedding dress a little late because I wanted to fit in it when the wedding day came. Lily, my maid of honor, and 2 of my bridesmaids came with me to try my dress, and of course my mother. Nobody else was invited and nobody else was supposed to show up, but my best friend did, and if you could guess, it was Kate Yamie. She came in, and I let her in because I thought we were done with this bull crap. I tried on about 7 dresses, 5 of which she was there for, before I found my dream dress. It was this tight body to the knees, flow lace-up dress. It was stunning. Everybody loved it, duh. Except Kate. She said it made me look big. For context, I am only 150 pounds standing at 5 feet 4 inches, and I'm not that big. My chest and my butt are, but I would say my belly area is pretty slim. On the other hand, Kate, not so much. She's about 5 feet 1 inch, 230 pounds, and that's not a problem at all, but I just thought it was weird that she was body shaming me when she's shorter and weighs more than me. But again, that's just me. And please don't come after me for this because I'm not trying to be mean, but I just thought it was strange. I said I didn't care, and I brought the dress. It fit nicely and looked beautiful. Now, this is the point where I had to call off my wedding. For some reason, my mother-in-law thought it was a good idea to take a picture of me in my dress, the one that I was sticking with, and send it to my fiancé. After I got out of the dress shop, about 45 to an hour passes, and I get a call from Jake. He tells me the dress I picked makes me look fat and ugly, and that his mom was right. Obviously, I was taken aback, and I asked him how he knew what my dress looked like and what his mom had said. That's when he told me she took a picture of me in my dress and sent it to him. I was livid, but the things that came out of his mouth after that is what made me super upset. Now, I'm not going to say what they were because they were super personal and very offensive. And that's what made me want to cut it off. Because what mommy says is what goes right. A week after buying my dress, I tried it in front of him, and he said the same things over and over again. I told him fine. We won't have a wedding then, unfortunately for me. He agreed and told me his mom was telling him to break up with me anyway. I was pissed, kicked him out of the house, blocked him and his mother, and mailed out letters to everybody telling them that the wedding was officially off. After blocking mother-in-law and Jake and kicking Jake out of the house, I haven't heard from them since, and it's been about 4 weeks, and it's been great. So, am I the a-hole for calling off my wedding because of mother-in-law? Again, this isn't my story. I am the maid of honor that witnessed and heard what happened at the dress store a while ago. Edit, I see a lot of people saying that I'm Lily, and I wanted to clarify I'm not. I'm the maid of honor. Me and Lily are the bride's best friends. Me and Lily are different people.